BlackRock's reach doesn't stop at the private sector. It's deeply embedded in governments around the world. During the COVID-19 pandemic, BlackRock was hired again by the US government to help manage emergency financial operations. Former BlackRock executives now work in the US Treasury and central banks in Europe. Its founder, Larry Fink, is a regular at global power events like the World Economic Forum in Davos. This has led many to argue that BlackRock operates as a shadow government, with more influence than elected officials. Controversies and criticism. Despite its dominance, BlackRock isn't without critics. It has been accused of contributing to the housing crisis by buying up residential homes and turning them into rentals. Its environmental policies have been called greenwashing, publicly pushing for sustainability while investing billions in fossil fuels. It profits in war zones, healthcare monopolies, and tech surveillance, all while claiming to act in the public interest. So, how does BlackRock make money? BlackRock earns money in four major ways. Asset management fees. It charges a small percentage, usually 0.1% to 2%, on the money it manages for pension funds, corporations, and governments. iShares ETFs. BlackRock owns iShares, the largest ETF brand in the world. These funds track everything from tech stocks to gold, and BlackRock earns fees every time investors buy them. Aladdin platform. It licenses its AI-based risk system to other banks and governments. This brings in massive tech revenue. Advisory and consulting. BlackRock advises governments in financial crises and gets paid handsomely to do so. The ownership puzzle. Here's the paradox. Who owns BlackRock? Well, BlackRock is publicly traded, but its largest shareholders are Vanguard and State Street. And guess what? BlackRock owns part of them too. It's a circular ownership structure that makes it nearly impossible to trace who really controls what. It's a web of influence that defies traditional logic. Even if you don't invest, even if you don't know what ETFs or asset management is, BlackRock's decisions still affect you. The price of your groceries, the value of your home, your job security, your retirement plan. It's a private company with more power than some governments, and it's not going away anytime soon. Here's the real issue. There's virtually no regulation on how much power asset managers like BlackRock can hold, and they're not democratically accountable. They can sway elections, shape environmental policy, and influence war decisions, all while answering to no one but their shareholders. What happens when corporate power outruns democratic control?
They own a part of your home, your job, your retirement, and maybe even your future. Yet you've probably never even heard of them. This is the hidden empire of BlackRock. In this video, we're diving into one of the most powerful, mysterious financial institutions in the world, BlackRock. It manages over $10 trillion in assets. That's more than the GDP of most countries. It's quietly embedded in everything from Apple to Pfizer, from the US government to climate policy. How did this company become so powerful? What are they really doing behind the scenes? And more importantly, should we be concerned? Stick around, because the deeper we go, the more unsettling it gets. What is BlackRock? Founded in 1988 by Larry Fink and 7 partners, BlackRock began as a small risk management firm, but it didn't stay small for long. After the 2008 financial crisis, BlackRock emerged as the trusted entity to clean up Wall Street's mess. It was hired by the US government to help manage the fallout. That role didn't just give it trust, it gave it power. Today, BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager, overseeing more than $10 trillion in assets. To put that in perspective, that's more than the GDP of Japan and Germany combined. BlackRock's influence across the world. BlackRock holds significant shares in most of the top companies in the world: Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Facebook, you name it. But it doesn't just invest in tech. It has major stakes in banks, energy, real estate, healthcare, weapons, media, and more. It owns parts of everything from the food you eat to the roof over your head. BlackRock isn't a typical investor. Because of its massive holdings, it often has voting power on the board of companies. That means it can influence decisions from who gets hired as CEO to what strategic direction the company should take. In fact, critics argue that BlackRock, along with Vanguard and State Street, control so much of the corporate world that they could be considered a monopoly of monopolies. The power of Aladdin. No, not the Disney version. BlackRock's Aladdin is one of the most powerful financial technologies on the planet. Aladdin, short for Asset Liability Debt and Derivative Investment Network, is a risk management system used by BlackRock and over 200 other institutions. Aladdin scans the global economy, simulates market scenarios, and advises on investments. It essentially decides where trillions of dollars flow. It's the financial world's most advanced crystal ball. Some experts believe that a single glitch in Aladdin could cause a global financial meltdown.
BlackRock says it's doing what's best for investors, but is that always best for society? They argue their scale helps lower costs, but critics say that kind of concentration is dangerous. More than one economist has warned that if BlackRock stumbles, it could trigger a financial collapse that makes 2008 look like a hiccup. Despite repeated warnings, there is almost no serious regulation on the size and influence of companies like BlackRock. Why? Maybe because they advise the very governments that would have to regulate them. This isn't just a story about finance. This is the story of how power hides in plain sight. We worry about politicians, billionaires, tech CEOs, but maybe, just maybe, the most powerful organization in the world is one we never voted for, never see on the news, and never question. BlackRock isn't just a company. It's an architecture, a network, a force that shapes the modern world from the shadows. So, does BlackRock truly own the world? Maybe not in name, but in influence, in control, and in silence. It just might. And as the world becomes more chaotic, more unpredictable, and more interconnected, BlackRock's grip only grows tighter. If this opened your eyes, don't miss our next video, BlackRock versus Vanguard, the silent financial war reshaping the world.